Now at 10, after days of uncertainty, Plainfield families finally have an answer tonight. DATCO and its bus drivers have reached a contract agreement. And tomorrow morning, buses will hit the road for the district's first day of school. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden. Fox 61's Priscilla Meza is live in Plainfield now with how one family prepared for the possibility of a disruption. Priscilla.
That's right, Brent. Well, Superintendent Paul Brenton was preparing for the worst as the DATCO and the Teamsters continued negotiating. And just as the district meeting with families wrapped up, word came in that a deal had been reached.
It's a little hectic, last minute things we had to do.
The uncertainty started earlier this week. DATCO and the Teamsters, the union representing its bus drivers, had been negotiating a new contract for months without an agreement. The district said there had been no formal announcement of a strike, but a transportation disruption was possible, and that meant families like Candace Forner had to prepare.
We had to call someone. We called grandparents to see if they could help us out. Older brother and sister to see if they could help us out as well, because I have to leave before the bus comes to get to work.
Forner says she had a plan, but knew not every family had someone nearby who could help.
I did have a plan set, but it's a lot for parents to scramble if you don't have the opportunity to have family around to help. I can see how it's a struggle, yes.
The district was also preparing for that possibility. And as it was making preparations, the superintendent told families Wednesday he was optimistic the two sides could avoid a strike. And just as the district virtual meeting with families was ending, Plainfield Public Schools says DATCO and its bus drivers had reached an agreement. DATCO released this statement saying our proposal that was accepted offers significantly increased wages and other benefits to our dedicated drivers and mechanics at this location.
It was just a relief. It was a relief to know that after school she'd be able to get the bus home in the morning. She can get the bus there. It was just nice relief to know that they were able to come to an agreement.
Forner says she appreciated the district keeping families informed throughout the uncertainty.
The superintendent did a great job. He kept us in the know. Starting about 2-3 days ago, we'd get emails every night, and he let us know. It was great.
Now, Plainfield Public Schools says full transportation services will run as scheduled tomorrow so students can get to and from school on the first day of school by bus. Live in Plainfield, Priscilla Meza, Fox 61.
Priscilla, thank you. Time for a first look at the weather now. The perfect conditions we've had are on their way out. The humidity is on its way in. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank is here. Rach, we got some rain on the way as well, right?
Yeah, we'll see some showers and thunderstorms developing in the afternoon and evening tomorrow, but they're going to be hit or miss in nature. So some towns will stay completely dry and you'll go, storm? What storm? Others could get an isolated strong to severe storm with heavy rain, strong gusty winds. There is a higher risk for seeing a severe thunderstorm in western Connecticut. The lower the risk, the farther east you go. So make sure you have a way of getting weather alerts just in case. But again, not every town gets one. A flood watch is in effect for Fairfield County because Fairfield County has already seen the most rain out of any of us so far this summer. So it might not take as much to kind of trigger any flooding concerns. I think it would be really isolated in nature. Again, depends on where those storms end up developing. And here's a look at that disturbance that'll be bringing those showers our way. Overnight tonight, though, we're quiet, but it is not as cool as it has been. Instead of overnight lows in the 50s, we've been telling you to open up the windows. Tonight, it's definitely more muggy and milder with low temperatures in the 60s. Tomorrow, we'll wake up to a mix of sun and clouds. Then the clouds will really start to take over in the afternoon, and we'll have that chance for a scattered shower or thunderstorm. We'll get a closer look at all of this, plus a beautiful weekend forecast. Loving that coming up, Brent.
Sounds good, Rachel. Thank you. One man is dead, and a police investigation is underway after a body was found in a plaza parking lot in Seymour. Police have identified the man as 33-year-old Dean Battaglino of New Haven. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules is in Seymour now with what we know so far.
Police were here at the Ideal Plaza on North Street for several hours. They were focused on the parking lot and the area surrounding it after that body was found. People who work nearby tell me this is shocking and say they feel uneasy.
I was pretty surprised, but when I seen the body, it really hit home.
That's how Mike describes what he saw when he arrived to work.
It was horrible. Not a way to start your morning off.
Police responded to a call just after 1 o'clock in the morning reporting a person dead. When they got there, they found the victim was shot multiple times. The victim has been identified as 33-year-old Dean Battaglino. Police Chief John Buccarati says investigators are following up on leads and interviewing witnesses.
We are applying for several search warrants at this time.
The chief says they are investigating a car in the parking lot that has Maryland license plates.
We do believe the deceased drove it there. So it is his vehicle. We've since impounded it.
The State Police Central District Major Crime Unit also helped with the investigation. Mike says over time he noticed more people out in the parking lot in the later hours of the night.
Late at night, yeah, because of the bar. But never any violence like that.
Saad Dib has been a mechanic across the street for more than 10 years. He describes the area as typically quiet and peaceful.
We are the safer area. I've been in Ansonia, I've been in Shelton, I've been in Bridgeport. This is the safer place.
Mike says this incident makes him question his safety.
I'm more on guard. I'm more protective now.
Police don't believe there's an active threat to the public. They're asking anyone who knows or saw what happened to call their department. In Seymour, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Today, the Office of Inspector General released its initial report into the deadly shooting in Newington on Friday that involved one police officer from Hartford and one from Rocky Hill. Tonight, both officers are recovering from their injuries, and we want to show you some of the body camera footage from that day. First, though, a warning. You might find some of it disturbing. It all started late Friday night when officers responded to a report of a man threatening to shoot someone in Hartford. Hartford officer Alexander Diaz approached the suspect, now identified as Hector Perez. The report says that's when Perez got into a car and took off. Officer Diaz drove after Perez into Newington, where Perez and a woman who hasn't been publicly identified pulled the car over and took off on foot. That's when Rocky Hill officer John Escobar joined Officer Diaz in running after Perez. Investigators say during that pursuit, Perez fired at the officers and they fired back. Escobar and Diaz were both hit.
I'm hit! I'm hit!
Investigators say Perez was also shot and died at the scene. The chief medical examiner says Perez died from gunshot wounds to the head, neck, torso, and other parts of his body, and his death was ruled a homicide. Officials say they recovered a small semi-automatic pistol at the scene near Perez's body. Now the Inspector General is working to determine whether officers Escobar and Diaz were justified in the shooting. Well, Connecticut is set to receive up to $265 million as part of a massive settlement with Meta over how Instagram and Facebook impact kids. Attorney General William Tong says the $17.1 billion deal will force Meta to make sweeping changes, including age verification, daily time limits, nighttime blocks, and stronger parental controls.
Is that our children, as individuals, cannot defend themselves from these multi-billion-dollar, trillion-dollar corporations that seek to prey on their vulnerabilities. And we, as a community, cannot allow that to continue to happen.
At least half of Connecticut's money will go toward addressing youth harms from social media, including mental health support, crisis intervention, and phone-free school zones. Now, meanwhile, Tong is also fighting back against a ruling involving ghost guns. He's appealing a state court decision involving Florida-based Indy Guns, which Connecticut sued for selling and shipping illegal, unserialized gun components here. The court agreed the company violated Connecticut's consumer protection law, but awarded no civil penalties. And Tong says that needs to change. He is pursuing maximum penalties on appeal. A family-owned Italian eatery is set to make a return to Hartford. Carbone's closed during the pandemic. Now, 6 years later, the restaurant is welcoming customers, old and new, back through its doors. Fox 61's Kayla Cade talked with some people about their excitement for the reopening.
Workers are inside preparing for the opening of Carbone's, which is now on Front Street in Hartford. Many people were disappointed when the business shut down on Franklin Avenue, but now they are looking forward to seeing its doors open again. Joe Wall is walking his dog near a restaurant he once knew all too well.
It's just a great family restaurant. It's perfect. It's got great hospitality. Food is great. Absolutely great.
Carbone's, a family-owned Italian eatery, is where Wall used to go as a kid.
We used to go down the street on Franklin Avenue into the original Carbone's and have carbonara and tenderloin tips, because my mother never wanted to cook.
The restaurant closed that location down in 2020 because of the pandemic. 6 years later, a new generation of the Carbone family has finally made Front Street its new home.
I think it's going to be a lively place.
This is such an incredible kind of rebirth and story of this brand, iconic brand. And
Scott Doach is the president and CEO of the Connecticut Restaurant and Hospitality Association. He says Carbones will bring more people to the area and help create a culinary scene in Hartford.
Our hope is this will be such a success, and then other restaurants will typically follow.
You may not be able to check out the restaurant right now, but with it being inside a bigger space, it will give you a different kind of dining experience.
You know, to have the larger 11,000 square feet, to have the large banquet area, which they didn't have on Franklin Avenue before, to do other things.
Now it's in the center of town, and I just think it's a great addition, and I hope everybody enjoys it.
Carbone's grand opening is on Tuesday, and Wall says he might stop by. The Carbone family will also be there, along with city and community leaders. In Hartford, Kayla Cade, Fox 61.